Welcome to Perfectionist Fake Podcast.
Today's episode 4, part 1. Today, our guest member is
Emily Rodriguez. Yay! I'm so enthusiastic.
So recently we started the New Year's, so I wanted to ask y'all, how did y'all spend the New Year's?
It was pretty good. I tried a new tradition by throwing lentils on the top of my head.
Oh yeah, what are some traditions y'all do for the New Year's? Because I
just did the
lentil.
lentils. That's all.
What's a lentil?
Lentils on in Spanish they're called lentejas.
What is that?
But basically they're like little beans.
Those little things that are in like that soup.
Yeah, they're
it
really
looks like
good
frog
for
eggs.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it looks like frog eggs. That soup that Dara be eating.
They're
Really?
super good, but a lot of people
No
like
idea.
them for
You're talking about boba?
No. But yeah, I did that. It was hopefully my wishes come true this year.
Hopefully. So what does that tradition come from? Is that like a Hispanic tradition or?
I would assume so. Lentejas,
like a
aren't they
TikTok
Hispanic?
tradition.
Yeah.
So I would think
I
so.
would think so.
I think those are all very Hispanic superstitions that start with some Hispanic cultures.
like with the whole eggplant.
Yeah.
I think
I've
so.
seen someone's TikTok, but I don't
I've
know.
seen
I wonder
them.
if they work. That's my thing.
I know, me too.
I
think
wouldn't.
about that.
I
don't know.
I don't know.
I also heard the color you wear that day matters.
Yeah,
too.
I wore black.
Like,
A lot of people said not to wear
no,
black.
because that's bad luck.
But I did.
Oh my!
I left the
Last
house
year,
before he even told me
I
that.
wore red. Red
Right.
signifies for if you want love. Green for money.
I don't know, I guess,
Yellow
or,
for wisdom, I think. White for
I didn't know
another
that.
thing. Yeah, every color has its own
this,
meaning. Last year, I had bad luck because I wore all black.
Really?
Yes. I literally
Oh yeah, I
wore
had a really
black.
bad year last
I
year.
wore black I wore black. See, for me New Year's Eve I was at a baile in Mexico,
Mhm.
and we were up till like I think 2 a.m. But I wore black for that day because I was wearing a black dress.
Mm.
So I
It's
had
okay.
bad
It's
luck.
okay.
It'll start
Hopefully-
praying.
No, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh, well.
What?
Okay.
okay.
Dang it, I wore black too.
You
I
did
wore
well.
black.
Alright, well, hopefully 2025 is
What
our
did
year,
I
guys.
wear?
We're gonna.
What
Well,
I'm like,
Dang, juniors and sophomores and we're done for it.
dang, I didn't know that.
I hope I didn't wear black.
I have seen also this other tradition where it's like you run down the street with a suitcase and something over you, or like a cover.
Yeah,
I
I
over
don't
you.
get that though.
I think it's for isn't it for like vacation?
Is
Yeah,
it?
it's said to be
Aren't you
like.
supposed to hold your partner's hand while you run too? So like they stay with you?
I don't know.
I saw that. You're supposed to hold like your partner's hand in your suitcase and your other hand. You run with both of them. And you run down the street because I saw a lot of people do
I
that.
watched an influencer do it.
Just a bunch of people running the suitcase.
Right?
I was
Like a
at
bunch
home.
of ghosts. You
Yeah, I was at home.
I wore light blue. You wore light blue? Okay. I don't know what light blue means.
She went back to the pictures. She's like,
She's
what does that mean?
She was at work, guys.
like
I got
40
nervous.
clips.
Better not be cursed this year.
Right? No, I seen the one because an influencer that I watched, she was running down the street with her suitcase, and it means that your year's gonna be filled with like traveling, like you're gonna be blessed with like opportunities to go vacation and
I
stuff.
didn't do anything. All I did was eat.
Yeah,
I didn't do anything.
Oh
That's
my.
funny.
It's because I don't think my family does the like, because I've seen many who like get under the table and they're eating
Yeah.
grapes.
Yeah, they did.
I did that
At the
last
end, they
year.
did grapes,
Guys.
and they just did the lentils. But I didn't do anything. I was just chilling there eating.
You're like, I got trust.
Didn't work.
Yeah, where did you go? Were you with your family or with
Yeah,
her
no, it was
family?
with because my mom called my tia and like told her to invite me. So,
Oh.
and then she kind of like forced me to go.
So like you didn't want to go.
Like, it's not by choice. You know what? It's okay though, because we were kind of split up this year. So.
You know what also passed? Christmas. What did I do for Christmas?
Christmas.
Lady in my bed.
I said,
Come on, I see a tradition going on.
I got a Stanley.
Oh no, I got
actually.
posada. Yeah, I got posada.
You got a what?
what's
I
that?
got Stanley
Oh.
for my first time. I don't know how expensive they are, but all I know is
They're like
really
$50, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
for a cup.
Whoa.
Like
Yeah.
$49.99.
For a cup?
Apparently,
That's what I was
Because they're kind of cool.
It's a
It's just
styrofoam
the name
cup.
brand. Oh, that's a little cup.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
What about y'all? What y'all do for Christmas?
We had a rosario.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had a rosario the day before Christmas. And then we opened.
Sorry, Juan, what's a
I was
posada?
sick.
Yeah,
You,
but I
no, it's a
said-
posada. You pray first, and then after you're done praying, like
It's like a
You
rosario.
swing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you swing.
And you swing the
the
little
baby.
things.
Isn't it? It's the same thing as
That's
a
a
rosario.
Catholic flip.
Yeah.
I don't think me and my family have any
Tradition we do.
tradition.
And then like after they pass around, you kiss them,
You
and
kiss
then they
it.
give you like candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get like little baggies full of
Cool,
crap.
cool of like.
I remember telling
I didn't even get a call all the way.
I remember telling him I was
This is a
swinging
bunch
the
of
baby.
candy.
He was like, "What do you mean you're swinging the baby?"
Yeah.
He thought we were hitting the baby. He thought we were hitting the baby. Because I told him we were swinging the baby, and he was like, "What do you mean you're swinging at the baby?"
No, because the way whenever she says it, she said, "Oh, we're swinging the baby," and I thought she meant like they were swinging.
Okay, the slang
Oh
words.
my
Gotcha.
no.
I was like, help the baby.
What
But
kind of stuff do
like,
y'all do?
it's a pretty good tradition we do mostly every Christmas. We do New Year's and Thanksgiving if we remember. Yeah.
I feel like that's cute though. I feel like having those traditions is something you can pass on to other generations.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's something I definitely would not want to let go.
I feel like my family's generation is going to Mexico every single December.
Yeah,
Must
that's why I stayed.
I wish I could go.
I've only been to Mexico
No,
twice.
I stayed this December because we go every year. I think it's been like 8 or 9 years since I've been here during Christmas.
Really? I have not been to Mexico for like 12, 10 years. Yeah, so I'm
not gonna lie, it's fun because there's puro desmadre.
Yeah, the cohetes. I know the illegal cohetes very crazy.
Dude, yes. I kid you not.
Especially like at night, like once it's like 1 or 2 a.m. and all the adults go out with like the cohetes at fiesta, like
Oh
the
my
big
gosh,
ones,
no.
and they just light them and hold them up like.
You gotta literally cover up.
I kid you not.
Chat, what's up with them?
It's fireworks.
Oh,
You know what's
My
funny?
bad.
I've never experienced that. Y'all, everyone always talks about going to Mexico and like experiencing like all these crazy things, but I've never gone to Mexico and experienced.
Really?
I listen
Do you have a
because people go to bed early.
Yes, I've gone to Mexico. I go to Mexico every single year.
I feel like it depends where you live. 'Cause
Yeah.
If you live like in the city, it doesn't really
Yeah,
happen.
we
live in
It's
the
more like
city.
You gotta live in
small
that
town.
ranch.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like,
going crazy.
I feel like it's like the ghetto places that we do
Yeah.
the
I know. I know Chihuahua and they get like that.
Yeah, cause like
Yeah.
my grandma's very religious, so like over like we don't party, we don't like they don't party, they don't
They
party.
left.
You know what I do?
Yeah, at our house
miss
there's like a minimum of like 50, 60 people.
And it's just like five of us, and it's my
Like,
family.
Oh, I did a tour of like our house. For, I
Yeah.
kid you not, for the first, because we were there for 2 weeks. For the first week, there were 14 people under one roof. For the
God.
first week.
Bless you.
We have 2 bathrooms, and I kid you not, it was like rotations. It was so annoying.
I call dibs. There's a spreadsheet.
A Google form.
I feel like later I'm
Which one's more urgent?
Appointment.
Making appointments, dude, I swear it was so annoying. Especially because, like, where you would, like, lavar los dientes, they have, like, the lavadero, right?
Yeah.
So when you would wash your clothes by hand, there would be, like, turns and stuff, and it was so annoying. Because there'd be, like, 2 days where I had to, like, pile up clothes because I couldn't get to the lavadero. Because once the like light goes down, you can't see anything. And so like, how do you know if it's clean? That's my thing. My tias and tios, they would do it anyway, and they'd be like, "Huele limpio," and I'm like, "But then you stay right here."
No, because low-key, those stone lavaderos, they be washing better than my washing machine.
I kid
Leaving
you
my
not.
socks white.
I'm not gonna lie, I like get the satisfaction when I'm cleaning my socks because I like put my hand in the socks and I'll just like scrub
Like
it.
scrubbing it, like
It's so
it
funny.
was
It's
like
like-
stress inducing. Like you should be like, I'm so mad at you.
It is so fun.
So, like,
With the soccer, like
really like, oh my gosh, watch out, dude.
It's just me, but I've never hand washed clothes.
really?
But it's a lot more fun actually.
When you went to Chihuahua, did y'all have like a what did you do?
You're from Chihuahua? Really? Oh, my dad's side of the family's from
What did
Chihuahua.
we do?
I don't think
You go
I
there.
played
Oh, yeah, I did.
You said same now.
What part of Chihuahua?
We're from. Where are we from? I think we were in the main city.
Oh, really?
Because I don't. Hold on, I have a.
Let's see where everyone's from.
Oh, my dad's from Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Guerrero San Miguel.
Or San Luis Potosí.
San Miguel.
Oh, San Luis Potosí también en Guadalajara.
Oh, yeah, no, from.
San Nicolás, Monterrey.
Oh, Monterrey. Okay.
Miss Lila man.
We love you. We love a local person. We love Mark over
She's like
here.
here.
Actually, not here. For work.
Okay.
I was not born in Tyler.
Okay, guys. Do you miss Fort Worth?
I was 2 years old, so I don't know.
I don't remember that. I think it is Chihuahua. I'm not
She's
sure.
like, I don't have enough memories.
Yeah, like maybe my buddy doesn't remember, you know.
From the pictures, my house now is a lot better. It
I
looks
can't
so
really
empty.
Low-key, I miss my ghetto house. It was a lot more fun, to be honest.
That looks like
Yeah.
the
That's what brought it to the
I'll show you pictures so you
Because
can recognize it.
we would get in trouble, and on top of that, there'd be a lot of police chases. And me and Jonathan, we would like look out the window. We'd be like, "What's in today's news?"
Y'all were in a movie for real.
Yeah, and then like a lot of people
Getting stepped on.
Like live action.
and then we would like bike around, just
You
the
recognize
random
that?
stuff. It'd be pretty
That's
fun.
funny.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, a bunch of churches from Mexico look exactly the same.
Well, because
They-
that
they
church
do,
is very
but I feel like they're
recognizable.
prettier though than
Yeah,
the
they
ones
are.
here.
They're-
Like
yeah.
they're a lot more better.
It's because there's a lot more people that actually go to church in Mexico, I feel like.
Yeah. And over there, I feel like they induce a lot more of the Lady Guadalupe también.
Yes.
Because in here, you don't hear that much.
Over there, they have like I know for like when it comes to people's death and stuff. Or I'm saying this because after graduation, I'm flying out to Mexico again because my grandma's passing, and they do like this yearly thing where they walk the calles of the pueblo.
Yeah.
Like they walk the streets of the
With,
town
Does
with
the angel look
candles,
familiar to
bread, and like her picture and stuff.
Yeah.
And they do like a canto where it's like it kind of sounds just like something like
Yeah, I know
that.
what you're talking about. We would do that
Yeah.
here, but for us, it would be at night. Like, all
Yeah.
for hours. Though.
And it lasts like a week, and like people from the towns will come in and join. And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like creepy, but it's so like it's like honoring someone, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's I
Yeah,
respect.
that's what they did whenever my grandpa passed.
Yeah.
And then this is like the town that we're in, like you basically know everybody.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
oh
everyone
my
knows.
gosh.
Everyone
Wherever
like,
you go, you're like,
you
oh,
can't
you're
help.
so and so's
the
son.
son.
Yes.
Or
He's
you're
"How's
like,
your
oh, you're my
mom?"
primo. You're like,
Yeah.
we're cousins.
They're like, I cleaned your breast when you were a baby. I'm like,
Nah,
okay.
for real.
Because
Not
the
for real.
cultural stuff be different over there in
And then they
Mexico.
be
I
putting
have
out pictures and stuff. Like,
I have a cousin who's my age, bro. She's already married and pregnant with 2 kids.
The other day, my grandma, she's like, remember your cousin so-and-so? She has 2 kids already. I'm like, she's a year older than me. I'm like,
What? Like,
I'm
I'm
like-
not supposed to be doing this.
I'm like,
here.
what do you mean she's a year older than me? She has 2 kids and a husband. What do you mean she's married?
In the house.
And a house.
She's like, oh my god, she got
She
out.
got the cheat code.
What's the code? You know what,
Let me
guys?
put a wig on and go to Mexico.
you got something to say?
Every episode, he's like, he's trying to come out.
The last episode, he's like, I got something to say. Surprise! Everybody's like, we know.
We know, guys. We bet know, Daniel.
Crazy.
Stop, that's funny.
This is bullying.
Can you imagine, like, we had comments, can you imagine they were like, I was waiting for him to say that.
It's
And
really
they be flaming on
Mr.
the
Stoltz
video.
in the comments.
No, because how can Mr. Stoltz not him?
Mr. Trump.
Yeah, cut that out.
Okay, guys. So,
Oh,
we
yeah.
got a little
Told me
sidetracked.
what happened to
Wait, okay, so that's not too
That'll
bad.
be a long video.
So, we got a little sidetracked, but today, this month's topic is mental health. And yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about.
Alright, so today is mental health day, or mental health
Month.
Yeah.
month.
Not
I
today.
thought the month was in September.
Oh, I meant for like our podcast. We
Our
continue
sources
like
of strength.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
this topic's about mental health. Alright, so what are the questions?
Good question. What role does mental health play in your life?
For me, I'd say it plays a big role. I would use it on a day-to-day basis, more so to see how I can expand it, because a lot of people don't realize that everything you do, not in like a creepy sense, but everything you do, it can have an effect to people, and it can, help you change or help you, with what's going on with your past. At least for me, I think it does.
Right.
I'm really excited about this topic because this is something I really am passionate about for my career.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah.
Would you
So what's
say?
your career?
I want to be a counseling psychologist. I want to do at least be the psychologist that can have a variety with everyone. Marriage, couple, kids. Just teenagers, because I've been put in that spot, and I've been like switched to multiple therapists, and sometimes it can get lost to the point where you don't feel heard.
Yes.
And some people can relate to that, and I hope they do, because you're not alone on this, and there will be dark times. You will have to go through that, whether at a young age or older. It happens, and a lot of things that people get scared is going to therapy. A lot of people think that therapy is something so serious, like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
you must be, there's something must be wrong with you. And I was just like, no, like therapy can just be there to help you. It can be like a guidance for, like, just to help in life, or even if you have you need someone to talk to, that's what that's for.
It can just be a tool to help you.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Some people are scared to talk about it, and that's
it
doesn't
doesn't
have to be a scary thing to talk about. Yes,
it is,
I understand
and they're not wrong for being scared. It can be really hard, especially finding the right therapist that listens to you, validates you, and doesn't, discriminate against you no matter what. I want to be the type of person, or at least in my environment, to where my clients can feel like a sanctuary, where it doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, what you believe in, you will still be heard, because just as everyone else, your problems matter too.
right.
I will say I feel like that's important because, in a sense, every single, like, regarding every job, not just a psychologist, right? There's always that one person who works for, like, the money aspect instead of, like, for loving the job.
Yeah.
So I feel like, especially when it comes to, like, other human beings and you treating other human beings, I feel like it's important that you love your job because you're actually giving it your all and you're actually being able to connect with them, and you're not looking at them like a dollar sign, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. And that is what I hope most therapists aspire to be, because this is not only, people don't know how serious this can be, because you're handling someone's life and mental health at that, and people don't realize how big of a change that can be, especially for little kids. If something goes wrong within their childhood or trauma is induced, that could really affect how they grow as an adult and as a teenager. And that's why with kids, it's always like, make sure you love them, make sure you take care of them, make sure, give all your attention to them, because that's where they need that most emotional help and growth from their parents and their environments.
Right. Especially as therapists and counselors, it's important that you find the right one or a good fit. Especially if you want to become one, it's important to be a good one.
Yeah.
Because, you also take, like, a role of, like, shaping their minds and, like, teaching them new things.
Yeah, and you can. That's the thing. You can make a big impact, and that's the thing that people don't. That people can also realize that you don't have to be a therapist to change someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
You can just be a friend, a parent, of some sort of family, or even just like a random stranger in the street. The people we encounter every day, they're people that we either keep them in mind, or even if so little as forget them, but the things they say to us will, like, oh, this person actually made sense, like, I'm gonna use that in my life. Everyday people can have meaning to someone's life at some point.
I feel like it's crazy because if you think about it, anyone can be a therapist.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're like, well, I guess you would say if you have a good mindset, obviously, because you wouldn't want to put someone down the wrong path.
No, yeah.
But I feel like in a sense, everyone could be a therapist because, like, if one of my friends are going through something and I give them advice, I may not have, like, the documents, but from my experience, I can try to help them out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like it is important to go to someone professional in that sense.
Yeah.
And I can see why it would be hard for someone to go to a therapist because, like, for example, my grandma, when her mom passed away, she, like, didn't talk to anyone, stayed at the house, like, she ate a lot less. She didn't talk to anybody, like, not even her grandkids, not even her husband. Her husband tried to take her out. My grandpa tried to take her out, like, to go to a birthday party or something. Close families, I would invite her, and she would still say no. And it kind of, like, stood there for, like, 3 months, 4 months, until her year anniversary death thing is going to come up. And she's kind of gotten a little more out of her shell, but all of her friends are like, at this point, you need to talk to someone else that's not family, like someone that you can.
Yeah.
But her thing is, like, how do I talk to a stranger about my problems?
Yeah,
and that's the hard part, that barrier of, like, I guess she's scared to trust someone else with her stuff.
Yeah, cause
it's like telling someone your darkest, deepest secrets. How do you know who to choose to tell it?
Yeah, and, like, no entrusting them that they won't, expose you or tell like everything, because that's private stuff. And that's the thing, well, at least what people would say that therapists are for, or psychologists, they help you, find what you need help with and coping mechanisms at that. Because what people struggle with is finding the right coping mechanisms for them and, helping them through that situation that they're going through. And another things that people realize once they get a therapist, some people actually get too attached to their therapist and they're like, oh, I cannot, like, live without you. I need you in my life, otherwise I won't function. But here's the thing, a therapist is supposed to be temporary. It's supposed to be a stepping stone for you to better your life, not something that you need. It's just a little guidance, a little moment where you need to
they're supposed to be momentary.
Yeah,
They're not supposed to be, like, you're not supposed to keep them for like 10 years. at a
Yeah,
time.
for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
No.
they're not supposed to be like, your partner for life.
Yeah, they're
Not
supposed to, kind of like a graduation, you could say. It's like a
Yeah.
school. Like
Yeah.
you're supposed to go through them, learn about them. And here's the thing that I love about therapists, being a therapist, is that you learn about people and you come across with millions of people every day. Even if it's for like a day, a month, a couple years, you get to learn someone new. And with that, you also get to learn new perspectives that you never thought you could see. And, that makes you have more of an open mind. Like, oh, wow, like, there's people like this. I didn't think there would be people like this. And it makes you think, like, the world's really unique and everyone is unique in their own ways.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, any other questions?
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like now that you said that part, it kind of makes sense because I feel like a therapist is to help you become independent. So it can be scary because if you become dependent upon that person, then what do you do kind of thing? Because I know for like instance with my like family life and stuff, there's certain people I can't talk to about that, and the two people who like know like I guess the deeper stuff is probably Daniel and Dyra, and they've helped me a lot. But I always have this fear of like, Dyra's gonna go off to college, God knows where, it might be far, and she's gonna become busy, and if she follows her passion, then she probably won't have time anymore. And with Daniel, time only time will tell, but I won't know if I'll have him in my life forever kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, what if I become dependent on like, what if I become dependent on him, like comforting me and stuff? I kind of don't want that. I want to be able to be independent in a sense where I know that mentally I'll be stable if he leaves or if Dara leaves or stuff like that.
And that's a good balance, because sometimes you don't want to be too independent nor too dependent of people. You have to find that right balance of like, okay, I can be by myself. I know I'll be okay by myself, but not in a way where you can shut people out. Like, no, I don't need you. No, I don't need Noah. I can do this by myself. Sometimes you do need someone to, put your shoulder on when things get hard, because you can't do everything by yourself, no matter how much you don't want to. Some people don't want to admit because of their pride or because that's how they were grown. You need someone at some point, whether that's for a minute or for a while. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And on top of that, people are really afraid to be vulnerable because they think it's weak. They think that, oh, if I cry or if I show them weakness, like they'll use it against me. They'll do this to me. No, I don't want to show. I want to know that I'm tough. Like, no, it's okay to be vulnerable, especially with guys.
Yeah.
With guys, I know it's really hard for y'all to be vulnerable.
Oh yeah, do y'all open up ever?
Yeah. I'll call you out.
Open up? What is that? That's not in my dictionary.
I know you do.
But that's the thing. A lot of guys find that like, no, that's a woman stuff, or that's really girly. Like, no, there doesn't have to be a gender for that.
For the guys on this podcast, do you open up? Would you say?
Yeah.
I feel like the only person I've ever been comfortable with opening up was Tony
For me, it's
Tony?
only her.
Thompson.
Yeah.
No, I got you. But was he like is he your best friend?
Not no more.
Not no more.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
okay.
I mean, we still talk, but it's
Yeah,
just
I
not the
feel you
same.
on that.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
RJ?
I don't know. I feel like I kind of like work my own issues out, but like try to like, I don't know. I feel like I work my issues out by myself, and like I try to like think about it like rationally, and then I try to think about like how I feel, but it's not like I'm opening up to someone. It's more of like I solve my issues like
On your own.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you don't need no one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, no, it's not that. I mean, I open up to Raina, but it's just like, it's different though. I feel like sometimes the issues are just something that I gotta fix myself. That it's something like, no matter how many people I tell, I'm ultimately gonna be the one to make the choice.
No, and that's perfectly understandable,
Do
because
you-
at the end of the day, you do have to be.
Do you feel like it'd be easier if you told someone though, or do you think you're doing fine mentally, just keeping?
I feel like if I told someone else, I feel like it'd just be like more judgy now. I feel like now I have to make a decision about something. Like instead of like, if I can just keep it to myself, I can just be like, oh, I'll work it out, or I'll see how it
Like,
goes.
dwell on it.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing.
That's the
That's
That's
the
just
whole
if you
thing.
don't rely on people, it'll continue like.
But that's okay, Irving. See, I get that, Irving. I get that because I'm the same way.
But it's not okay.
But it's just, I feel like
it's
if you
more
tell
the-
someone else how you feel, then I mean, I feel like it's not how you feel now. I feel like it's what someone else thinks about your situation.
That's because you need other people's
understandable.
input sometimes.
And
That's
that's
just like what you need to figure it out on your own. You don't need.
Yeah, but that's
I
why
don't
you
need
have to
telling you what
also
to do.
find the right people.
Yeah, because like at some point,
I feel like a
also-
bother whenever I tell people.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the thing, you don't have to tell someone like to owe them. You know, sometimes people just need to say it just to say it.
I was gonna say,
Oh, yeah, I agree
you
with
might
that.
want to
Yeah,
find
yeah,
a person. I was gonna say,
yeah.
you might want to find that person that just listens to listen, not a judger, right?
Yeah,
Because
you'd be like, hey,
Some
whatever
people
you
be
say.
so dramatic.
Yeah,
So
like
dramatic.
oh my, or sometimes they'll even like say the wrong things
But
and
like,
invalidate
for
your
different
feelings.
reasons.
Like oh you're being too dramatic, or why are you making a big fuss over it? Like
But I feel like that's how you know that's not the right
person, yeah.
If
And
you
it's-
wouldn't continue going to the same
Yeah.
person if they're doing that, you would probably find someone else.
Yeah, and that's understandable for if people stop doing that, if they keep, crossing paths with people who don't validate them. Because at some point they're going to be like, well, with all the people I've crossed, they don't invalidate me, so why should I just tell anyone anymore?
I don't know.
And
I feel like it's hard to tell people because you don't know what they're going through, and then for me, I feel like a bother because I feel like I have a genuinely like a better life than most, and so I feel like a bother. Like I feel like people have a worse situation than I do, and I don't,
Yeah, and that's the thing with comparisons. Like, yes, some people might have it worse than others, some people might have it better, but at the end of the day, all of those feelings are validated.
Yeah.
It's not a competition to see who's worse, who's better. Everyone goes through something, whether that be big or small or insignificant to someone's life. It's something that affected them. And that's something that, it has to be validated for. Otherwise, that's what feelings are for. That's what empathy is for. And sympathy.
I feel like it's crazy because I feel like even movies do a good job of showing that. You know how like even the popular girl princess goes through stuff. Like daddy doesn't like her or something like that. But what is it? I don't know if y'all seen it, but I've recently been watching like a K-drama.
Ooh,
It's called True Beauty.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so basically there's two girls, right? Pretty one has money, mansion, right? But the thing is her dad hits her. Like if she doesn't make an A, he hits her, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's very smart though, extremely smart, but she's like in this academy where it's like competitive, right?
Yeah.
And there's this one guy who like he's smart, he has money, extremely handsome, like popular in that way where everyone wants to be like his girlfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
But his mom died and his dad like treats him like money kind of thing. Like he looks at him like as a prize because he wants him to be like a model or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he has it bad too, but he always beats the girl like in grade wise, like smart academic wise. He always beats her when it comes to like trying to pass a certain exam or get a score, and so she always gets hit. And then on the other hand, there's this other girl, doesn't have money, not a nice house, but she has her mom, her dad, her brother, and her sister. She's loved by them. They scold at her, but in a way it's like don't do something dumb, right?
Yeah.
And she's like ugly per se. She wants to be pretty. She wants to have money, but she doesn't know that the other girl is secretly suffering. So I think it's crazy because we all go through our own battles. But like you said, Daniel, some people have it better. But that's the thing, you never know if someone actually has it better.
Yeah.
Like your life, music, your life may be like all that, but there's still stuff you go through. There's still stuff that stops you in your tracks, and sometimes it gets you sad or emotional and stuff like that. And I feel like if you don't talk about that, then you shouldn't think that your situation is insignificant compared to someone else's.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, it doesn't have to be what's happening now either. It can also be something that happened in the past.
Yes.
And that it might have gotten better now. Like, whether that be a relationship with your mom or a parent or something that happened years ago, but it's not really important now. That's still just as effective as it is today. And that's the thing, but, what else? A lot of people tend to hold from the past, and that's something that can be really hard to cope or manage, because depending how much it affected you, that can either you take it to the grave with you and you're like, this is who I am, this is who I'm gonna let it be, or you can take control in that and be like, yes, this happened, but I'm a better person than that, I can change. And me personally, I believe everyone is capable of change. It's just them. Yeah, it's just their choice if they're willing to change. That's the difference it makes. Yeah. Everyone can change. Yeah.
I feel like it's crazy too. Oh my gosh, there's so many people who like they don't know it, but they're like, I would say it myself. I'm still stuck up on like events that happened on in the past.
Yeah.
Considering like my family, and I feel like in a way, because I've told Daniel, right? I've told him how it's crazy to think I wouldn't want anyone to go through what I've been through, but in a sense, it's weird because once you like, or also from a religious aspect, we've always said to forgive the past so that way you can have a better future. That's just in the Bible, but it's so hard, right?
It's so hard.
And so it's like there's that one person like I don't know if I could ever forgive, but once I die, I want to have it like, because it's crazy because I could, let's say, like I could hate Juan for something he did, right? Like despise him.
You can let that take control of your life.
Yeah, but here's the thing, he couldn't even like, he probably doesn't even know. Like he's probably living life not even knowing that it bothered me that much, right? Yeah. And then when I die, in the end, I'm the only one with like a chipped heart. Yeah. He's fine. He's probably living life. Yeah, I'm the only one with that baggage. And if I were to be like, Juan, you know what? I forgive you. Before I die, he'd be like, "What you talking about?" Like,
for real. Like, what is this?
You know, for 50 years.
Right? And in the end, I'm like, you know what? I feel better about myself. I feel like it's easier to that person. Like, literally yesterday, you remember Daniel, our service when we were at church yesterday was literally about, you know, coming forth, forgiving that because
the year of Jubilee.
Yeah, the year of Jubilee,
which is the year of forgiving everything.
Yes, he was like, let that be your New Year's resolution. All of those like hatred things or those memories that you've had in the past, forgive them because you can't. If you think about it, if you really think about it, you can't advance in your life if you're still stuck on the past. And I feel like that's so hard because there's. The reason why I said like I wouldn't want anyone to go through what I went through, but I'm glad I went through it, is because I feel like it really shaped who I am. Yeah. I'm caring I care for people because of what I went through. Mm-hmm. I feel like I owe everyone everything because of what I went through. I want people to be happy when they're near me because of everything I went through. I feel like if I wouldn't have went through that, I could have been like a selfish brat, if I think about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like those things, as bad as they seem, they shape who you are, and it's something that it's really big too. Like you never knew you would be like this in the future, and who knows who you might be in the future now. You might get worse, you might get better, who knows.
It's crazy to think like the events shape your personality.
Yeah, and like the craziest events too. You just be like, wow.
Yeah, I always think about that. Like, I feel like it's kind of like my saying. I'm like, well, I mean, I know that, you know, my past was bad or whatever. I know what happened, but I mean, I'm not upset with who I am now, so I wouldn't take it back. I mean, I could have done things better. I could have done things differently, but I'm okay with who I am now. So.
Stop, because has everyone in their room had the moment where it's like I could have done things differently?
Yes, or when like you regret something like, oh, like I could have done this instead, or I could have said this instead. Yeah, but it's already too late.
It's like I could have been better, I could have been nicer.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'll be having those thoughts when I'm in the shower. Like the
shower thoughts.
Yes, when the water hits my head, I'm like, dang, 10 years ago I could have done this or something like that. Like,
no, for me, I don't know if y'all do this, but I be like in pretending that I'm in an argument, I'll be like, I'm gonna say this and this and this, and then I do the exact opposite.
Especially because I'm always way too nice. Yes.
I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna have it in my mind. And then
I'm like, someone did me so dirty the other day. I just stood there and was kind of like, oh my God.
I know. And then like you're just like, oh, I'm gonna let them have it. And then you just come up there and you're like, oh hi, and you're like, whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. They no business.
Yeah, because I'm like, I can't do it.
Oh, I take 10-minute showers. I'm there to get clean.
I took a 5-minute one right
I'm gonna get clean. Like I get clean and trust.
5 minutes.
Well, all I had to do was wash my
At that point, you just like.
Okay, that's how long I take to get adjusted to the water. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'll sit there and let it just like I don't know, rinse over me for a minute.
Okay, but it was like 11:50 and I live 15 minutes away. So.
What time do you wake up?
I woke up at 8. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
That's for me, even if I'm rushing, I still take a while showering.
Yeah.
No, I just regularly take a 5 to 7 minute shower.
Really? 12:30?
Huh?
I just
I take an hour. Well, no, I take 30 minutes in the shower, and then I take like 40-30 minutes doing my other stuff.
I take like 30,
And I hate it.
35 minutes.
You know the shower?
Yeah.
You know, actually, you know, being in the shower a long time is a
Not really a long time.
Okay, Daniel. know.
A lot of people
No,
on
did
defense
you-
actually
2 hours
take
is
a lot.
Since we're speaking of mental health, did you know that? Oh, I don't know. This might be a bit much, but did you know you know how people like really hot showers? Like I'm not talking like hot.
I don't know,
Like
like
people
really
hot.
sizzling, like
Yeah.
steam coming
They went,
out.
they want the roof to be
That
burning
can
a
be.
bit.
People can use that for a coping mechanism, and that's a really harmful coping mechanism.
It's a coping mechanism for feeling comfortable.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like self-harm.
Yeah, it's basically
It is.
self harm, and a lot of people think that's no. People think that it's normal. Like, bro, no, your skin is not supposed to be red. Please don't do that. Whoever
Yeah.
who does that is not healthy.
Yeah, if you take hot showers, it's
Yeah.
at max 10 minutes because it irritates the skin.
It's crazy because I've seen like mostly
That's why
girls,
taking
I'm
warmer
just assuming, take
Yeah.
hot showers.
I
I'm
take
taking
hot
one
showers,
day
hot
because it's
showers
cold.
all night long.
Yeah,
I used to do
Like my
that.
skin, like my showers are like
Take cold
so
showers.
hot, like
I
it's
even wash
steaming
my
there,
hands
but
sick.
it's not like my skin's red.
Yeah, me too.
My
Like
skin's never like
No,
For
I
me,
love steaming water.
I like
It's
really not warm. Warm's too
because it helps.
cold.
Like I know it's bad for your hair, but I have really healthy hair, so
no,
nobody can tell
girl.
me anything.
Not at all.
My hair's healthy.
No, because when you have curly hair or hair in general, you're supposed to typically wash it with cold water.
Yes.
I ain't doing that.
I probably experienced Jonathan's hair.
Oh my
You
god.
know what? Since we're talking about mental health, Maddie said I should bring this up. Last night, I had sleep paralysis for the first time ever.
Oh.
Here's the thing.
It was so scary.
What's
How
that?
is that? Because
I,
I've never
I was laying
experienced
there,
that.
okay? I
That's
was
weird.
laying there and I was trying to go to sleep because it was 5 a.m. And and I was laying there and I closed my eyes and then I couldn't open my eyes, but I was still awake and I couldn't open my eyes, I couldn't move, I couldn't say anything. And then I started seeing stuff. And so I was just trying to say like Jesus' name because like I'm a firm believer. So I thought
Amen.
that if I
Amen.
could say
Love that.
Jesus' name, like everything would go away. And I couldn't say his name. And so I was sitting there for like, I don't know, 30 minutes. And then I had a dream that I woke up and I was moving and I turned on the lights, but I was like very like wobbly and disoriented. And then I woke up from the dream, but I was still in sleep paralysis. I couldn't move, I couldn't say anything. And then I finally woke up at 8 a.m. and
Oh my god.
it was so bad, 3 hours.
You see, I've never experienced that.
Wait, was it like someone like on the crawling on the ceiling?
Well,
kind of thing?
it was.
On some movie type stuff.
No, some people do have it like that, but
Never.
it was very minimal for me. I think just like I was seeing like flashes of stuff and it was scaring me,
Still
like
matters.
shadows in my
Matters.
room.
But speaking of, I feel like I scare myself with that because of how many horror movies I watch.
What
I
did you
think
do the
at
night before?
What did I do the night before?
Oh yeah, that matters a lot too.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yes! I went to a movie at my church and it was The Passion of the Christ and it was yeah Jesus' crucifixion.
That I kid you
Those are
not.
the scariest
The
movies.
movie, the movie where he's like getting sacrificed and stuff. It'll never not traumatize me. I don't know why. It just like feeling wise, like I feel so guilty, right? And
Yeah.
though I don't watch those at night because I did have nightmares every single time I watched that movie and I stopped watching it. I think one time I think it was you. I called him bawling. Like I was like remember because I told him I was like he's getting because on the movie
Yeah.
they like slash
It
they like
sounds familiar.
slash him and stuff and it just hurts me so much
I
that
don't remember, but it sounds good.
I remember crying and I was calling him and I was like I just watched like I was shaking like because that always like I'm not I wouldn't say if it's like traumatized or I don't know but it just hurts me so bad.
Yeah, it
to see.
impacted you.
Yeah, and that's why like those movies I stopped watching. Like don't worry, I love my Lord and
Yeah.
Savior, but I can't watch
The
them.
horror-
Like
the horror-
gay.
I've never
really
seen them
boring.
before. and
You
I
hadn't?
No,
Is that your first time?
Yeah, last night was my first time, and I was like, okay, cool, like a movie. Like I was expecting to cry, and I did because like watching that is just crazy.
Yeah.
But
Painful.
I didn't expect to get sleep paralysis. That was
Oh
really
my.
scary.
No, girl. My parents, they watched that when I was like younger, and I was crying over here like, no, Jesus, don't
Yeah.
die. And Moses too, and all the people, and I was just like,
La
oh
Tierra
my God.
Prometida.
Yes, it's
Yes.
so scary, yet it makes me bawl my eyes out
I don't
every
know,
single
it's like-
time. Anything with babies too. Like I think the part where there was a movie where it was talking about the part where I think some people threw babies in the thing because they were sinful or something. I don't know. It was in the Bible. What was it called? But there was a part in that.
I don't remember that story. I'm not gonna lie.
Uh,
I don't think I've
It was a
reached
story.
that point.
Where was a story where basically in Egypt, they're seen as bad people because.
Apocalipto?
Yeah, I think. Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
where they mark the doors.
Yeah,
the plague,
and they.
Oh, yeah.
And then they were like, oh, because of
because of the
this,
Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Where they have to sacrifice babies.
the babies and everything,
Yeah.
bro. That made me cry because they just threw them like bodies, and I was just
yeah.
like, oh my god.
They didn't sacrifice the babies. They sacrificed the firstborn, I believe it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
They sacrificed the firstborn. So if you had a baby who was your only child, he would live. If it was like the firstborn as like the oldest, they would die. And that's why the Pharaoh only had one son, so it would be his son who was to live. Which is why he didn't believe him. That was like the last. I think that was like the last warning that they gave him because they had other stuff leading up to it.
Yeah, stuff be gory sometimes. I'd be like, oh my god.
I mean, it's-
like, but it's real.
It's like
life.
supposed to scare
It's
you.
supposed
Yeah.
to, yeah.
It's supposed to like spiritually touch you.
Yeah. And that's the thing that happened back then. Imagine if we were born back then, like where
That always scares me.
that would be scary.
I'm so thankful
especially
that
as a
that
woman too. Oh my
And the
god.
thing
sure.
is, while I was watching that movie, it was basically, you see displayed all the people who didn't believe in Jesus because it sounded so unrealistic, and a lot of them hadn't seen the miracles that he provided or
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And so if you think about it, like if you lived in that time and never saw any of his miracles, or like if somebody came here today and was like, I'm the Messiah.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't believe
Yeah, like how could you there's
And-
no way you would do
Yeah,
that.
that's what hurts me even more is that I don't think I would believe him.
Yeah, and it's something that people I need to see it with my own eyes to believe it.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're really religious, then it really does hit you because you know more about the
Yeah.
meaning behind it, what it led up to, what it means now, kind of thing. So that's why I stopped watching those because I couldn't handle it. I couldn't, and also I'm very when it comes to mental health, I think it's how you call it, a sympathetic person.
Empathetic.
Empathetic. When someone's crying, I cry. When someone's in pain, I feel like
that's
I'm in pain. Yeah, it's so bad because I feel like sometimes I'll kill my mental health in order to make someone else feel better. Just because I just despise seeing someone
people
so
hurt.
distraught or
Yeah,
hurt.
right? Because you're like, how could you go
That's
through
why I stopped
something like
watching
that?
those. Because I would have nightmares every single time. I think I had one nightmare once when it was like I was the person doing it to him, and I was like, that's traumatizing. Stopped watching it completely.
I know, and it's worse when you see little kids go through that. Because I went to a hospital at some point, and there were these 4 or 5-year-olds who were being admitted to a psych ward, all because their parents didn't want them or because there was something wrong with them. And mind you, the parents send them. It was not the kids' choice. They send them.
I
for a
visited
reason.
one recently, and
Really?
it was like I saw these kids. Are you laughing?
Oh, that is.
Are you laughing?
No, I was
Like,
really
that's
shocked.
I know. I was like, that's a little messed up of you, don't you think?
That's actually
No,
really
they did
something.
laugh. I've seen them.
We all
But-
cook a little bit differently, guys. I know I'm laughing,
No,
but that's a
but
little
why
bit
were you at a
differently.
psych ward? Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. But and they were kids, and someone was telling me something, and it's just the way people were trying to take their lives, or
I know, right in front of you too, and
or people, the way people would try to harm themselves inside the psych ward. It's I would try not to react to the stories the person that I was visiting would tell me, because I was like, oh, okay, you have to be strong for the people that are in there,
yeah,
because you can't react.
There was
I'm I was not allowed to.
Yeah, you don't want to seem
So I'm
judgmental.
well, I can't react to that, but
Yeah.
it's
But I understand what you mean, because I've been to one for a week, because some stuff happened.
sad.
But it's for me, it hit me really bad when I saw young kids, and they didn't seem like there was nothing wrong, because you would think why is a kid doing here? 4-year-olds needing professional help.
Yeah.
What did they do?
Or 10-year-olds.
Yeah, and there was this one kid I would hang out with him, and he was I think he was 8 years old. He's been there. I was like, hi, how are you? We would make paper airplanes and draw together. And I was just like, how long have you been here? He's like, oh, I've been here for I think 3 months. And I was like, 3 months? And he's just like, what? I was like,
The people
mind
were
me
there
asking,
7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends how bad they are.
And I was just like, why? He's just like, oh, my mom's just, I don't know, my mom just drops me off here when I get returned. And I was just like, I bawled my eyes
It just
out.
depends, the confinement depends. It's just
And then on top of that, it's the environment
Or the
or that
people.
hospital too. Because the
people.
hospital I went to, they sucked. They made us feel, at least I felt like a prisoner for a really long time. and they would like physically like hurt you if you got like, obviously there's some kids who like have it more severe.
Like some people needed to be restrained.
Yeah, but it's still really
but not
traumatizing
like,
to see it, because they'd be so aggressive, like, ow, it hurts, or like, and it's really awful to see, and that's something I really hope no one sees.
Or like the language and like the form, the way they talk to you. It's like you can't talk to children that way. It's like
and
these
then
kids are 7, 10 years old. It varies from like 7 to 18. Like these are adults, these are children.
Yeah, and then on top of that, there are
developed.
moments where like you want to save them. Like you're like, what if I can be that person to just help them for a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you have to know that you can't sometimes, and that's something that it's hard for people to accept. Sometimes you can't save the people you think you can.
Yeah.
And it's not your fault. That's just, you did the best you could. It's just at that point, it's just out of your hands. And it's hard to accept that.
So would you say, well, from hearing you for the past like
Sorry.
time, no, would you say that like mental health plays an important part in like who you are today?
It sure does.
Genuinely.
I really think it does. At least for mostly in my middle school years, that's when I really took a passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go through something similar and you see it, you're like, especially when you go to like, for me, I went to a hospital. When you see something like that, it really changes how you think. And you're like, whoa, I want to help these people. I don't want people to be like this anymore. You want to make the world a better place. And I don't know, like, as corny as that sounds or whatever, you know, it impacts you, and you just genuinely want to make the world better, because who knows how many kids are going through this right now, or if they have it worse. Some people don't even have the money or the, requirements to be helped. And that's the thing that sucks about, psychologists and therapists. People have to pay,
They're expensive, aren't
They're
they?
expensive.
I
They're not cheap.
don't really know, but I've heard that they are pretty pricey.
They are, and that's the thing that I don't want. Like, if anything, I definitely offer like free like services, like a trial for a week or a month.
You have like a, what do you call those? Like not sales. What do you call those? When it's
like a deal. Or
yeah,
something.
like a deal.
Like a little deal. Like, hey, like come with me for like free, and if you like it, come here. And if you don't have enough money, that's perfectly fine. We can arrange something. You may not be able to pay me, the price, but that doesn't matter, because, you could potentially save someone's life. And that's the thing, that therapists are also doctors too. They're not the ones that maybe, save physical lives. But
they're not physical doctors, they're mental doctors.
They're mental. They help you mentally. And that's very important.
The thing about that is that like there are free counselors that go to middle schools. It starts in middle school. I remember that one time, I've had 2 counselors throughout my life. I did 4 years of therapy, 4 years of counseling, and I've had 2 of them. And I remember my first one was in middle school. And she was, I refused to talk to my middle school counselor, and they brought her in. And the thing is, like, they bring people in, they talk to children who need them sometimes, and if you need them. But the thing is, there are kids who like, just refuse to talk to people because they know that you know them. Like, you don't want to talk to them.
Yeah, I know. And what's worse about schools, counselors that I don't like, I know it's like their job and like the rules.
Telling parents.
Telling the parents.
It's also because like I go to school.
That's what
with you.
stopped me.
It's what stopped
It's
me
like
too.
it's like I know you. I know I go to school with you. I see you there every day. I don't want you to know some stuff about me. It's like
I know. And on top of that,
I don't want that. I don't want you to know some stuff about me.
Yeah, because it's just private. And like, also, for me, I was scared at first, because I'm like, what if they think differently of me?
Yeah.
Because they know this. What if they treat me differently because of this?
That's why I don't talk to teachers anymore.
Yes,
Teachers
there's some
are
teachers.
There's
some
I do
teachers.
talk to teachers.
I talked to a teacher this year, and that happened to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you joking?
For me, it was my middle school counselor that made things worse, actually, because she was sweet. Don't get me wrong, she was a sweet person, but she was just like, she would make false promises with me. She'd be like, don't worry, I won't tell no one to speak to you.
And then you have like CPS.
Yeah, and then CPS comes on like, hey, so like, we want to talk
I'm
to
here
you.
for Ella
Like,
Rodriguez.
Like, I thought you said this was a secret. Bro, because that's how you lose all my trust, and that's how trust issues begin to develop.
But I mean, man, think about it like this: when you're a psychiatrist and you get older and you help someone, and they're sitting there telling you, "I want to kill myself every single day," you have to go to someone else besides you because you can't go home with them. You can't take it. And like you said, you want to save lives. So if you just sit there and just talk to them, what's to say they won't go home and do it that night?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's other in that instance, because I know, like as a Christian, we've been told to like put in other people's shoes. Like think about it at every single possible aspect. So that's why I've like, the teachers, they have a job to do. Because if you were a teacher and a kid were going to you telling you their problems and you feel like they're going to commit that night, would you just stay silent? Because then what if they do commit? You'd have that for you for the rest of your life. You could have done something different.
Sadly,
you could have
stay silent.
Yeah, sadly you can't stay silent.
Like,
if you cared, you wouldn't stay silent.
Yeah, that's
And
I
that's the
couldn't.
reality of it.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, I know you talk about how like, you know, they ratted you out or like, but take it like this. You know, I had a counselor that came in.
But
I had a counselor that came in and it worked pretty well for me. You know? Like,
that's good.
You know, I had her for about a year or two, half a year.
Yeah,
And it worked out for me, you know.
that's
I had,
really good.
I had one for 3. I had one for 2, you know, separately. It worked out pretty well.
That's really nice. I feel like once you find your person, you're like, okay, you know what?
So there are people that, you know, for anyone who does need a counselor that's not a school counselor.
There will be someone there for you.
People do come in to those middle schools and high schools and do help.
Go.
So guys, I was just talking about how people, you know, go into middle school and offer counseling, free counseling sometimes. Yeah, but that's the end of our podcast. Do you have anything to add, Evelyn?
Well, just to be sure, if anyone, and I mean anyone, like I know it can be scary, and I know it can be, you know, really hard, especially to have enough courage to talk to someone, specifically like an adult too. You can reach out to your counselors, and you can reach out to people if you need someone to talk to, whether that be for a brief moment or to just let things out. You don't have to tell them everything, but knowing that you have someone you know you can confide into, it's a really nice feeling, and you're not alone. You know, you can get through this, and your friends will help you too.
Definitely.
Okay.
Don't ever think you're alone. That's important.
Thank you. Well, thank you for joining us on episode 4 and part 1 of the Perfectionist Fake podcast. Make sure to stay tuned for next week, Friday, for episode 4 and part 2.
Yay!
Bye. That one scene. Where else? That one.
That
It flowed so much better.
Yeah. Definitely better than the beginning.
I know, bro.
Welcome to the.
Sorry, guys.
It was good. It was good.
This is a pretty good podcast.
Yeah. Oh, how'd you like it?
It was pretty great. I think we touched a lot of good bases here.
I think
I think it's been a while since we've had a good episode.
A long episode like this.
Well, we had some problems last time, so.
I have a feeling mental health is gonna go good though, because I feel like
Mental health is a really juicy
It's a
topic.
really
Yes,
juicy
yes.
topic.
We could talk about this for like
That made me
hours.
hungry.
Because physical health's kind of boring. Like, who do you
Yeah, like I
What do you
just got out of bed.
I was just kidding. I feel like physical health's important.
No,
I missed.
I mean, I support it, but I.
She's like, not for me.
participate.
Not my. Okay, no, because the guy that was here last time, me and Daniel were listening to the podcast in the car, and he sounded so good. Like we could have wished we could have been here because he was talking about.
He was called about calisthenics.
Wait, who was it?
I know.
That was going crazy.
Oh
about that.
yeah, I remember him. He was cool.
Stop. That's so
Cause
unfair. Because I was like, and that was.
I'm into calisthenics too.
And then y'all made that lactose comment. We were like, we should have been there.
Oh my god.
Y'all did good with him. Y'all did good.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry
guys.
for him.
So-
My
so-
parents
so-
told me about
It was pretty awkward. I mean, it was just 3 of us. So.
Yeah.
Listen, life happens, Chad.
But I feel like with guys it's different. They're not as like, you know, deep in touch with the thing.
Yeah.
They're just like the surface.
Next
like,
podcast,
so,
if you want to talk about a
Talk about what?
certain event that happened in your life that kind of.
I am like, in 8th grade.
Oh, okay.
you know, guys.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
Okay, bye.
Okay, Lila.
She's like, I
She's a busy woman.
I need to go get an oil change. I'm on 0% oil.
Do you need to send me your
Zero.
thingy?
you need us to drive behind you.
I feel like that'd be worse, honestly. The car it just shuts off.
Like a ragdoll.
Wait, but it'll shut off slowly, right?
No, I mean it'll just shut off. You just slowly like start.
Yeah, it's like a brakes.
Everything still works. The brakes still works. The steering wheel's still gonna work.
Imagine a car like shutting down.
The only way it would break like that.
Mental health, you guys. That's supposed to be.
I think it's just scaring you. You'll be alright.
No, it's okay.
I don't know.